So after last episode's disaster, things have been going a little bit better since. Today we're looking to take on Melton Town in the FA Vase second round, as well as dealing with quite a few transfers, both in and out actually. Let's go take a look. Starting this episode off with a bit of bad news. It looks like Donny O'Brien Brady has turned us down, has decided to go to Whitchurch Alport instead. So that's a bit annoying. And the Dabra deal, I'm cancelling it. And after mentioning in the last episode that we couldn't find anyone to play right back that was anywhere near as good as Nicholson, Joe Howe has agreed to join the club. He's 35 years old. I don't think he's going to be he's obviously not going to be a long-term replacement for Nicholson. But if I just compare the two, apart from speed, which you'd expect a 35-year-old to be less fast than a 21-year-old, but he's much better in every other regard, and I feel like a very good depth option for us at the very least. Like Metcalf, he won't be playing every single game, but yeah, I'm very happy with that acquisition, just for £25 a week as well. It's been an unexpected twist that I definitely, and I'm not too happy with. Sean Myler is basically forcing his way out of the club. He has kicked off about multiple rejected offers, and I've just basically had to accept one finally. It's a bit annoying that it's kicking off to go to Atherton, Leburn Rovers, who we knocked out the cup and are in the division below us. But, it doesn't really make sense. And on top of that, it looks like Yakubu is going to be leaving us. Now, I have actually got a replacement backup goalkeeper coming in. So I'm not too disappointed with it. If we compare him to Yakubu, Yakubu is a bit more physical and speed, but apart from that, I suppose communication, he's got the slight edge on him. But apart from that, Harry Kant is probably the better option all round. And even though he's going to be on £5 extra a week, I don't see it as too bad of a deal for us. Yakubu was originally signed as our first team goalkeeper, and he doesn't seem too happy to be dropping down his playing time so that Tommy Jacobson can take the position. So it just looks like this is going to be something that has to happen. And I can't rely on just Adam Boland to step up to that spot, because he is also kicking off, because I must have clicked something at somewhere to promise him a fair amount of playing time. I don't remember this happening, but I think I might have clicked something and not realised. So if I compare him to Harry Kant, he should be pretty similar. Yeah, Harry Kant is just a better player, pretty much all round. Slightly worse shot stopping, slightly worse physicality, and slightly worse communication, but everything else he's got it comfortably beaten. So again, I just feel like this is a much better backup goalkeeper. And while he's going to be coming in on slightly more money than Yakubu, if we say we're basically trading the two in, then we're saving 15 quid a week at that point. And there we go. Harry Kant has joined the club. Fringe player who could still improve. He's definitely he's just down as a cup goalkeeper. So I think we'll just be playing him in the FA Vase at this point. But yeah, I'm very happy with that acquisition. So actually, let's go over some of the results since you were last here. Obviously, this was a disappointing 3-0 loss against Wolves Casuals. Not really much to say about that. You all saw just how bad it was and heard how depressed I was. But since then, things have been going very well indeed. First off, we played Kozel. I was comfortable 2-0 win here. I say comfortable. I feel like this was the game that we streaked into a lead, and then just did nothing the rest of the game, basically. S with a nice header into Moncrief, slots it in at the near post just 3.5 minutes into the game. Then on 7 minutes, S with a long ball up to Moncrief, who just made the keeper look silly. Nice easy finish. Also, one thing that is worth noting in this match, you might think it was the red card late on, but Cameron Moncrief missed a penalty, and it was saved. Not only was it saved, it was such an incredible save. I think that is honestly the first penalty save I have seen so far on this save. But yeah, if you can see from the stats, we completely dominated them, and there's not really much more to say about that. They ended up with 10 men, but it was pretty late, didn't make much difference. After that, we came up against Botsford Town in the Isuzu FA Vase. And this game felt a lot tighter than it probably looks like. So with the first goal, Binns put it into the back post. Rule is so unlucky that header doesn't go in, but Wilson manages to follow. Was it Wilson managed to follow it up? Yes, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Then I don't know what the defence is doing here, but Luciqueno gets in late in the second half just to finish the game off for us. After that, we came up against Henor Town. This game was actually notable for us because it was the first game that we had Shiloh Waldo back from injury. He spent 4 months on the sidelines, 4 or 5 months. And this is the first time we've been able to play him, and he got on the score sheet. Start off with Rule coming down the wing here. He puts it into Moncrief. Standard finish for him. That's all as expected lately. And then late in the game, Rule down the wing again. I think he puts this to the back post, does it? Yeah. Waldo's just standing there waiting to pop it in. Not one of the typical goals you've seen from him last season, but on your first game back, a 7.3 performance, cannot complain. Moncrief did get injured in this game, but it was only for 3 or 4 days, I think, which meant he missed out on the Bewdley Town game that came up next. So we had Matty Lusaqueno up front for us here. Only finished with an assist, but any goal contribution is a positive, obviously. This is the assist, I think. Yeah, he puts Rule through. Just smashes it in. Absolutely unstoppable. Then the ball comes out to Rami. Yeah, this is... Oh yeah, passes it into Rule. Yeah, Bins with a terrible shot that just sneaks its way in. Like, he's got no right to score with that attempt. It's definitely in the goalkeeper's head. Then you had Rowe put through here, who just scores a bit too easy from that far out. We've got 4 defenders chasing him, and this one was so unlucky. Rami's free kick hits the post, comes off the goalkeeper, but luckily falls to Kanina to pop it in. Overall, a very dominant performance, and I don't really have any complaints at all. So, going into the Walsall Wood game, Kieran Moncrief was back in the starting lineup. A nice 1-0 victory here. Rule, I think he just puts him through. Yeah, lovely little pass, one-touch control, and just a brilliant finish from far out. De Bruyne-esque, you might say. So yeah, things have been going very well indeed for us. And if we look at the table, Highgate United have definitely kept pace. We are only 2 points ahead of them after 15 games. We've dropped 5 points, they've dropped 7. If we look at the teams they've dropped points against, Atherstone the same as us. They did deal with Wolves Casuals very easily, which scares me a little bit because Wolves Casuals dealt with us. We are basically the thorn in Highgate United's side, and that victory could well have quite heavy implications for the title race, I feel. But our next game that we are going to be doing is against Melton Town in the second round of the FA Vase. They're a similar level to Botsford Town, but to be honest, I was probably overconfident that we would get through that first FA Vase round. And I think Melton Town are going to be a very similar challenge. They are at the same tier as Botsford Town, but it's quite hard to tell exactly where everyone is. Where are Botsford? They're 6th in their tier, and Melton Town are 4th in theirs. Yeah, 4th. So they both have very good seasons. This is an incredibly tight league at the top, much more so than it has. We have definitely turned this into a 2-horse race, no matter how much Wolves Casuals do to try and catch up. And I think this is how we're going to be lining up. We've got Barrel, Kanina, Kemp and Barrett at the back, playing Regan in a ball-winning midfielder position in front. Now, I'm not 100% sure about this decision. He is more than good enough. He's basically another centre-back, quite frankly. But I just want him quite far back. I don't want to drop him back as a half-back. But I brought him into a job there, so I hope he'll be all right. We've got Rami and Oliver in midfield, Waldo, S and Lusaqueno up front. Obviously we've got Kemon Moncrief suspended, or we would have had him on. I might also be bringing Devontae Morton on at some point just to really punish their backline, because they have got some quite weak defenders, I did see. Yeah, let's go for it. 4-2-2. They've got Kenny Davis. I swear I've had him on a previous Football Manager. What are these stats? 16 work rate, 18 teamwork, 16 determination. This doesn't seem fair. I feel like I've had him last year, maybe, or the year before on Football Manager. That's an odd coinkydink. But either way, they're lining up in a classic 4-4-2. We are in a standard 4-3-3, and that's all we need to see there. Right, let's go. Explode out the blocks. Reece Oliver's injured. 6 minutes in. What a start. Do we need to do anything different with you? I think maybe actually switch him over, because Ball is a completely good... Ball's not a bad deep line playmaker. And I do personally prefer Rami in this Mazzala role. But it's not what we wanted in the first 6 minutes of the game. 53 people here to see this match. Okay, finally got a highlight. Tommy Jackson collects the ball. To Kemp. Let's get my cursor off the screen. Kemp decides he does want to do something with it. Okay, brilliant. He's thinking for a long time. Rami puts Lusaqueno through. It's got to be. Oh, what a finish. Nearly breaks the net. Putting that in the top corner. That was a beautiful finish. 16th minute. This all just happened really fast after an incredibly slow start to the highlight. Square just takes a touch. And wow, 2 touches. And just... What a rocket. The net looked like it was glitching out. It went that hard. Right. Jackson to Kemp. Let's do this again, apparently. Barrett. Rami. S. Long ball up. Can Waldo get on the end of it this time? No, he gives up. Zaquino does win the ball, though. Can he do anything with it? Is that comes to Waldo? Yes, it has. He's toe poked it in. 26 minutes in, and it's 2-0. That was such a beautiful pass from Lusaqueno. Lovely bit of hold-up play. I mean, I say hold-up play. I feel like Waldo might have already been in front of him. Yep, he was. He just patiently goes around the outside. There's 5 players in between them. And he just threads the needle, pops it through to Shiloh Waldo. We really have missed Waldo, I feel like. This was such a good first half. I mean, we've had 2 shots each. Oh, wait a sec. We've got one more before half-time. Ball. Over to Kemp, and it's off the bar. The bar or the... What doesn't really matter. Off the woodwork. Kanina, I was going to say, it looks like he's taking a shot, and you know it's going to be awful. Compelling do anything with this. Highlights carrying on. It's unexpected. Barrett does get it away, though. Can Rami get this back upfield? Yes, he can. S can't quite get on the end of it. It's cleared again. Rami gets dispossessed, but so does their player. This is very messy, but I was about to say as long as they don't score from it, but this is a little scary now. What are you doing there, Kanina? And then we cleared it straight off their head. Oof. That was a scary finish to that half. Oh my God. I mean, looking at the stats, we have had a very good first half, but somehow it feels so much worse after that last 2 minutes of the half there. I really thought the whistle was going to get blown so many different times. I don't think there's a whole lot we need to do here. Well, we keep getting shots away. Keep it up. Reece Oliver's had to come off, obviously. Matt Ball's on. Everyone looks delighted, extremely delighted, positively chuffed over here. Yeah, it's been a good first half. Barrett to Rami. S, can you get a shift on? You need to get ahead of that player. They clear the ball away. It comes to Brow. No way he's getting that. Kemp, you've got to move. It's off the inside of the post. It's off the inside of the post. Oh my God. We are, I feel like we are so lucky to still be in this game. That's twice now. I mean, we would still be in the game. It would only be 2-2, but still. What is going wrong here? Who's not playing well? S is just too happy for me to want to take him off. Matt Ball's not been brilliant, but he's not long. Come on. It's only 9 minutes into the second half, Dan. Calm down. Let's maybe focus on keeping the ball a little bit more. Maybe. I don't know if that's going to make any difference. Alito. Goes to the back post. Tommy Jackson kept it out. Wait, what happened there? Oh, it was offside anyway. Oh, you can see here. Got the header off, and he just put it straight off Jackson's shoulder here. Drops onto the line, and then Kanina boots it away. That is, like I said, we are really holding on by the sort of skin of our teeth at this point. Tommy Barrell's now injured. Everyone's dropping like flies. I'm glad they didn't make a sub at half time, but Kanina's had a really good game, but he is starting to struggle a bit. Regan is also struggling, so I'm going to bring Kemp forward and then take Regan off for Forshaw. And then we've got the 2 big men at the back. Yeah, that makes sense. Kemp, what can you play best at defensive mid? It is defensive midfielder, so... actually, it's the same role, basically, isn't it? One of them you're tackling a bit more, but it's not on a booking. So I think that's okay. Maybe that's not the rationale I should be going with. 69th minute. Jackson to Kanina. Ball. Rami. Up to Lusaqueno. Cursed on screen, but he puts S through. No one's in the box though. We need to wait for Lissaquena to get up there. Rami arrives. Back to S. Oh, I thought he'd put it through to Lissaquena then. Hardy out to Brow. I'm never going to know how to say his name. Hardy, come on. You've got to get a tackle in there. That wasn't a tackle. Dion Watch slots it in. It's off the mark. It's not what I wanted to see. How do we do this? Is it focus? Stay focused on the task at hand. Everyone hates me. I just don't understand any shout other than demand more. Demand more is the only shout that makes any sense, and everyone always loves it. I'm going to go for more direct. Fuck it. Again, I don't know if this is a good idea, but I trust. Like, it's been working for weeks. God, we're nearly at full time. I've never wanted a full time whistle so much in my life. Come on. Yes. Okay. We have beaten Melton Town. I mean, it might not. They had such a better second half than us. I honestly thought that was a matter of time before they took that. They took the lead. I am absolutely buzzing with that result. I went in there. I admit that I went in there a little overconfident with how it turned out. Did they hit the woodwork twice? Had one cleared off the line. I mean, the one off the line was actually offside, I think, but still. Oh, okay. How much prize? Only get £900 prize money. Reece Oliver's down for 4 to 5 weeks. Oh, with injections, only out for 3. I thought that was the specialist button there. I was about to click it. Tommy Barrell's out for 9 days. What have they actually got? A gashed upper leg. He's got a pulled calf muscle. That could be worse. Now I suppose we've got the draw for the third round. So let's go forward to that. And here we go. Isuzu FA Vase third round draw is made today. There's actually only 65 teams in it. What? Maybe that's because there's still a couple of replays, potentially. That sounds a little odd, but we'll see. Oh, it's okay. So we are playing against Highworth. Who are Highworth? It's a bit weird playing in a cup competition against a load of teams that you've got no idea who they even are. They are second in the Hellenic League Premier Division. That looks like the same tier as us, I believe. Yes, it is. So they've got a slightly... is that a worse? Yeah, they've got a worse record than us. 10 wins, 4 draws and a loss, and we're at 13-1-1. So the day has come for Tommy Jackson to be officially our number one. Paul Yakubu is leaving the club to go to AFC Sudbury in the Eastern Counties League Premier Division. I think that's a lateral move, and they are second. We seem to be seeing a lot of second teams in this tier at the moment. It's a sad day. I was definitely quite happy for him to stay, but we've found a supposed better option. I'm going to tell him he's been a wonderful servant. Who knows what the future holds? We might have you back one day. Also, just put a contract offer in, as you can see, for Cade Ratchford here. I think as a deep game playmaker, I mean, his tackling isn't great, his decision and composure aren't great, balance not great, anticipation not great, but he's quite an athlete. I mean, he's got good pace, his acceleration is not brilliant, but the rest of, he's got a few blue stats over there. 13 flair, 13 vision, 11 passing, 11 technique, 12 first touch. I think in the left centre midfield spot that we've got as a deep line playmaker, I think he could do an incredible job for us. If we compare him to that role is currently sort of been shared by Reece Oliver, who I would take Ratchford over him any day of the week, and Demetrius Rami, who is here, who again, Ratchford is just such a better player. It would probably mean that like Brad Binns would fall out of the pecking order completely. But looking at him, are you gonna argue with that decision? I mean, Brad Binns is a little bit faster than him, and that's the only difference. Who else have we got there? Matt Ball. Matt Ball's a bit stronger mentally and slightly better attacking, but everything else, Cade Ratchford is just as good or better comfortably across the board. The only problem that I have got is I'm looking at probably giving him £60 a week. He has also demanded about the training facilities being improved, but he's only here for the rest of this season. I have got an optional 1-year contract extension in there. So if I can delay him for another season, I might try and keep him a bit longer and be a bit cheeky. But I think he could definitely do a very good job for us this season. And another player leaves. Sean Myler looks like he's going to be off to Atherton LR. I'm a little annoyed about this one. Beans as he's pushed through a move to a team in a lower division while being in our first team. But there's just not really anything I could do about it. He had offers from 2 other clubs at our tier, but he decided to go down a league to the team in second in the league below us, rather than us. We're top of our league, so it's more than a full division down when you think about it. But yeah, it's annoying, but we'll have to see. I am probably going to look for a more long-term replacement than Matt Regan, because Matt Regan is more of a centre-back. I could do with like quite a big beefy presence there, but we'll have to see who we can find. And another player out the door, Adam Boland, our other goalkeeper, is leaving to go to Abington United, also in the tier below us. But he should be able to get some first team football there at least. In other news, another midfielder that might be on the way in. I just can't stop buying midfielders at the moment. I started looking for defensive mids just to make sure that I had good cover for Myler leaving, and I just keep stumbling across absolute gems. Like Michael Stone here, he's not the most physical, but he's 5'8", decent, not terrible strength. But looking at all the rest of his stats, I mean, he's got so many blues. He's quite aggressive, but like the vision, work rate, passing, I could definitely see him also doing a very good job in that deep line playmaker spot for us. He can also apparently play Mazzala pretty well, but his dribbling and long shots are pretty awful. So I'm not sure about that, but we might try him out if we do get him. The thing that raised my attention to him is actually Melton Town have just gone in for him, who we've just beaten. So quite like to do one over on them again, to be honest. And there we go. It looks like Cade Ratchford will actually be joining the squad. £60 a week obviously makes him one of our slightly higher earners. He's got £20 for pretty much anything he does, or a £10 unused substitute fee. 1 year deal with a contract extension after promotion. We'll probably have him for 2 years, I am hoping, if all goes well. I think he's going to be really good for us. And I am aware that obviously this is putting further strain on our bank balance that is already in the negatives after 14 games of the season, 16 games of the season. But it's worth it, I think. We've still got 400 free in our wage budget. I'm going to trust that the accountants know what they're doing. It could be a bit scary, but we'll have to see. We didn't get Michael Stone to come as well, though, unfortunately. He did actually accept a lower wage at Melton Town, that's a little bit heartbreaking. I was offering him such a better contract than this. It's weird because I don't think I recorded offering him a contract, but when I put an offer for him, he actually wanted a non-contract with just a £65 appearance fee. And I managed to just give him a £45 a week wage offer, and he seemed very happy with it, but he's decided to go to the team that just lost to us, so maybe he's just not the best decision maker. In fact, he's got 10 decision making. He's not bad, I suppose. So after a very successful win in the FA Vase second round today, we're going to get through a few more matches, and then I think we're going to do the FA Vase third round and take on RC Warwick in the league. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, maybe leave some feedback down below. It really does help out a great deal. Maybe a like or a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next time for what could be 2 incredibly tough matches.